Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah. This is basically the last Sunday meeting before, this is of course what, December the 18th, before we go out to California. So I want to do a general review, kind of where we at. Just, yeah, general review. So it'll be nice and easy going, and where we don't have to stick to no schedule or nothing. And if anybody want to interrupt any time and get a clarification of what I'm talking about, we can do that. But I want to read from one of the flyers about 2.5 years ago. In the name of Allah, most gracious, most merciful. Said Moses, O my sustainer, open up my heart to thy light, and make my task easy for me, and loosen the knot from my tongue, so that they might fully understand my speech, and appoint for me out of my kinfolks one who will help me to bear my burden, Harun, my brother. Add thou through him to my strength, and let him share my task, so that together we might abundantly extol thy limitless glory and remember thee without ceasing. Verily, thou seest all that is within us. Said he, thou art granted, this is Allah speaking now, thou art granted all that thou hast asked for, O Moses. And indeed, we bestowed our favor upon thee at a time long since past, when we inspired thy mother with this inspiration, place him in the chest and throw it into the river. Thereupon the river will cast him ashore. And one who is an enemy unto me and an enemy unto you, unto him will adopt him. And thus early I spread my own love over thee, and this in order that thou mightest be formed under my own eyes. And thou wert under my own eyes, even they, even when thy sister went forth and said to Pharaoh's people, shall I guide you unto a woman who might take charge of him? So we return thee unto thy mother, so that her eye be gladdened, and that she might not narrow, or so that she may not sorrow any longer. And when thou camest of age, thou didst slay man, but we did save thee from all grief, although we tried thee with various trials, and then thou didst sojourn years among the people of Midian, and now thou hast come here as ordained by me, O Moses, for I have chosen thee for my own service. When it uses the word ordained as qadr, I have brought you here now under the qadr, under my qadr. And all of this stuff is speaking of the qadr of Allah. And I skipped a line, place him in the chest and throw him into the river. And thereupon the river will cast him ashore. And one who's an enemy to you, an enemy to me. Okay. This is one of my favorite, because if you wanted to see a normal person, everyday, normal believer, down to earth, that's juiced up with what they call in the church, the Holy Spirit, is me. I mean, we know that there's nobody coming after the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, but we know his qadr is always been and always will be. This leads a little bit back to the dilemma I was talking about. The dilemma is that in Oakland, we were just normal young guys in the 20s, and I was 20 years old. We just went to work, lift iron. I just got a pen and got a job for the first time in my life, in a regular, good, middle-class job, working at the box company. And I worked plenty overtime, in fact, all I could get, you know. And because we used to work in the penitentiary for nothing, you know, especially at forestry camps, you was working real work, you know. And it was, they gave us 50 cents a day, so it wasn't slave labor, it was just maybe oppression or something like that. But this, I wanted to read this to start. This is how we feel about our mission right now. I mean, it's not arrogance, but we don't have any doubt about what's happened, what it meant, where we are now, and where we're going. I mean, it just, it's like getting ready for a championship fight and you just know you're going to win. Now, that don't mean you do extra training. You ain't saying, I got to, no, we ain't doing no dumb stuff like that. We're working and thinking and believing more diligent now than any time before. But it's like you can taste it. That for this mission, for this time, is this what is put together for? And we talked before about protracted struggle. That was from 4/16, 2011. The top of the page up here, I got Israeli influence. I think I gave that to y'all. Protracted struggle, that's one. It's going to be a long-range struggle. Step 2 in that process is level 1, destabilization. Of course, that destabilization will produce in step 2 temporary transformation. Oh, we're going to have the spring, oh, and Tunisia, and they was trying to link Syria in that too. The whole Arab world is going on, and we said, as you remember, but see, we got to remind people, because this is bigger than, like we have in a class here, so a few of us here. It's different than that. This is earth-shaking stuff to the point, it's bigger than 2006 when we tell them things like, no, Bashir, good news. That's big. Now you gotta remember what we're involved in. Everybody else is saying one thing, everybody is over on that side. And they all saying something exactly different than we're saying. It makes no difference whether it's in the 90s or the middle 90s when they got confrontation or cooperation. It don't make no difference, all of that stuff. First World Trade Center, we told them, no, this is what's going to happen with this World Trade Center. And this is the way it's going. 2006, yes.
In other words, they ain't called nothing right yet, nothing.
And they all know it. This don't include overseas, in like in London. Asiatic Studies Department, African and Asiatic Studies, this is a big deal over there. You know how long London been doing this. And I'm just giving a lecture and I'm saying, no, it ain't gonna be no intellectual revolution. Because Iqbal is saying, we haven't completed my father's intellectual revolution. And in my lecture, I said, no, there ain't gonna be no intellectual revolution. It's going to be events-driven. That's it. Everything is going to be, they're going to do this, and you can respond or shoot yourself, that's all. You know, or quit, run and hide. But this is what they're going to do. It's events-driven. The same thing with 9/11, the same thing with the invasion of Lebanon, all of that. They're going to do that. Okay, so now the only thing is what you're going to do about it. They got all of that history. I'm telling you, in South Africa, I hit the nail on the head so much. Right after Mandela came in, I gave some speeches right after he became president. I mean, a week later, a month later, yeah, maybe. Yeah, this is a month or two after that. You know, everybody's souped up, everybody, that's all right. We're going to build 5 million homes. We're going to build no 5 million. You forget that. You know. The ANC is going to say the ANC is not going to do anything. They're going to get some red Mercedes and orange hats, like all niggas do. It ain't nothing they can do about it. They just born there. You know what I mean? It don't make no difference if they was Mexicans, white folks, anybody that's been in the bush and struggling, and they get power and wealth just like that. In every case in history, they forget their friends that struggle with them. You see them all over already. They're standing out there around the big barrels in the wintertime, you know, staying warm. And the government ain't doing that. It's doing a little bit, but it ain't doing enough. Okay, it's not only that. It's all over the world. See, our enemies thought they was going to knock us over so easy that they just exposed everything they was doing. They thought it was, each time they did something, if they sent me to Sri Lanka, I said, man, I'm busy at home. Oh, please, we're in Iran now. And I get over there, and the people there love me, but then now our allies are going on. When I go out, they got me speaking first, and then our homeboy, who worked for UNESCO, UN, a Nigerian, comes behind me and is undercutting, I'm talking optimism and all of that, you know. And I said, and he's telling about the real situation, and it's a pessimistic view that you can't do anything about it. So in the question and answer, I made sure, I said, look, I'm an African American. Everything in America is against us. If we were pessimistic, we wouldn't do nothing. Maybe jump in the ocean. So we're optimistic. And if you're not optimistic, you ain't gonna do nothing. So we go to the next place. Here come the same thing again. I said, man, what the hell is wrong with you? Why you, And then I asked the street prayer. We all friends. I said, man, when we was over in Sri Lanka, so-and-so was, he make excuse. Everybody that I would tell him about, he would make an excuse for them. Okay, no problem. The point I'm making was, it's not only America. Protracted struggle, no Arab Spring, don't take power, it's a trick. Everybody, you gotta remember, Equanities, all of Equanities, all of Equanities, everybody you know is Equanity or something like that, including people who care, all of them. Yeah, they all, but they all got the same bootlicking inferiority complex. They desire to work it in the system. Why don't you just want to vote? I say, well, why would I join the mafia then? Vote for, if you vote. I said, do you think I would vote for the mafia? No, they're a criminal organization. Well, why the hell do you think I would vote for the American government? Whoever wins is a criminal. And they couldn't understand. Abdul-Alim definitely did not. They thought we were pushing this, that we're going to press it, then we're going to accept the deal somewhere along the way. And I kept telling them, I said, no, we don't want nothing from the white man. We don't want nothing he got. They don't believe that. Because all of them, all of the people that you know, if the white man come by, he's going to take the deal. He desires it. He wants it. He's been waiting on it all his life. You know. So I told him no. That's why they don't understand that you don't want to be a part of the system. They think that we're just putting on, we're serious, but when the white man offers us a big deal, we're going to go for it. And that's not true. Here's the thing. We know the best of what he have already, right? Under the best circumstances, when you're young, okay. Now we have Islam. We have this. This is not like that. This is not like, it ain't anything, there is no way, I have never encountered anything even close to the way it is now. Physically, psychologically, at other times we might have had more money, but hell, if you don't know what to do with it, if you're not going to do anything with it, what's the sense of having it? Right? That's why they're so serious about cutting back on money. It's always a bill, always a fine. Because see, they realize when you're out of their jurisdiction. And it's been a long time. That does not stop them from trying to influence things. That's why our friends and people here, they don't understand when the government is out of its jurisdiction. They don't understand because ain't nobody never been out of the jurisdiction. Ain't nobody never been bigger than the government or got a halo or some kind of force field around them. They got to figure, well, this is a nigga. And we haven't taught this nigga this. Well, that's why it works all the time. Because they have, and now you talk about a dilemma. This recent stuff about Syria, or you go back last month when we talk about what the Middle East situation means now. You know, that we are on step 3. That we right dab in the middle of it and can't get it. Organizing of unity, of opposition, semi-consolidation. Well, now we was talking this before the fall of Aleppo. Have you been watching the white folks' news on how they feel like about Aleppo? They about ready to jump off a bridge. My God, this is the biggest disaster. And then they try to lie and anything but that. Well, here's what it do. It's not only we have Middle Eastern armies now, big ones. Just set Iran aside for a while. The Iraqi army moving on Mosul. Huge numbers of troops, unity of command. The only little thing we have to watch about is if they can start fitna with the Kurds, you know, Kurdistan and the Arabs from Iraq. But Hezbollah, unity of command, can stand long periods of battle. See, the Arabs have never been able to stand sustained long-range battles. Don't mention Iran. They know who's cleaning house over there. It's the Iranian troops, of course. Then the Syrians come in and they send the coffins back to Iran, almost like Vietnam. You know, they take care of business. But Iran don't have a picture. Actually, they got a good picture. But right now, we're at that unity of command, consolidation. We got the consolidation. That's a big deal. It don't sound like nothing on the news, but these are we are right now into the middle of earth-shaking events. They're the global transitional. When anybody looks back at history, they will call this Stalingrad. That's what they're gonna, they're gonna have to. That's what it is. It's the changeover period. Iran, I say it every week, but it's a big deal. But this is a big deal. We're gonna repeat it another 100, maybe another 200 times, because this is the thing that needs to be repeated. Step 3 is already, you might as well call it, it's a done deal. You can't move, you can't not get to step 4. What is step 4? Step 4, regional vision. You notice now, and they did it. Saudi Arabia did it. The bombing of Yemen did it. The development of Daesh, the dismemberment of Iraq, and running all these Taliban and ISIS, Daesh, running them people in. And look at the money it costs Saudi Arabia and Qatar. Boy, they spent a war budget, it's a big budget. They done went broke trying to knock the brothers, and they created the environment. Iran couldn't have created it. We tried for years. Unity, that didn't work. The European did it. Saudi Arabia did it. The Triangle of Terror did it. And now they terrorize. This thing about a huge Iraqi army, a Syrian army that can fight, the Iranian army, this magnificent strategic alliance, that's what we was talking about. That's organizing a unity of opposition. That's what it says. Unity of opposition against who? That means Haq on one side, Batil on the other. Okay, I'm not bragging, but ain't no white folks, it ain't nobody even come close to that analysis. Before, then, and now, with all of this stuff, there's nobody, I'm saying, this thing when Allah sent Moses all around and all through all them changes was to pick up on the whole globe, so you know what it, you know what I mean? You couldn't have, I don't care how much money you got in Oakland. If you stay there, you're gonna get an Oakland view. You go down to LA, you can go to New York and all that. But you will not get a colonial, neo-colonial behavior pattern throughout the whole history of humanity. And then it just so happens that your favorite subject is history. You just read it, you like it. You watch TV movie, oh, TV, man, that's World War II. That's World War I. A documentary. The kids ask me, Dad, you seen that 10 or 20 times? I said, sure, but this is a new one. This is World War II in color. So, I done seen 5,000 scenes, but they're gonna have 200 scenes in there that I haven't seen before. And guess what? They're gonna have in all of them, whether they lie or not, it will have the pattern of events. And even when I was a kid, World War I said, man, I noticed certain things. I said, man, the beginning of the Civil War, they had this, they had that. At the end of the Civil War, 4 years later, they had really evolved in weapons. You're just watching TV. World War I, man, they went in with this, 1914, 1918, they was rolling. They had introduced tanks, they had, you know, all of this stuff. You know, airplanes, and the airplanes got better. They said they used to shoot the propeller off, of course, you know, machine gun. Mm-hmm. Then they developed a synchronized where the thing would shoot
go through the propeller, right.
Hey, man. I said, man, wars produce a lot in weapons, medicine, technology. World War II, they come in, remember they used to wear the little 10 pots rounds. By 1942, they changed the helmet style. They improved the whole look at the weapons. They start off, they got, biggest thing they got is a B-17. When they finished, they got the B-29, the Super Fortress. And they got an atomic bomb, too. And ain't nobody topped that since. That was 70 years ago, 71 years ago. It's about 72 in a hot minute. You see what I mean? I was just watching that, and I'm saying that history. So if you have the patterns of history down, it's something that's, oh, this is you can stick stuff together just like that, and other people will miss it. They say history don't repeat itself. History does repeat itself, but you have to be on your job to know how to associate the patterns of history. You know, the patterns of history. So, this right now, with the fall of Aleppo, hey man, if you watch RT, if you don't watch CNN, no, oh my goodness.
I don't.
Yes.
I'm gonna tell you the honest God truth, man. They doing so much blatant lying.
They sure are.
Straight
Yeah, I had to turn it off, man, because it's just, they've always been liars.
Right.
But they've been able to kind of, keep it kind of under control. But I'm talking about right now, it's just a blatant lie after lie after lie. I said, man, I can't take it. I had to turn the TV off, man.
Only reason I feel the same way, the only reason is because I have to.
Yeah, you and that Musa, go on.
No, well, it fits into the, oh, we got the white helmets, they did this, oh, we had this, and they just killing all the poor people, the people over there. I said, no, it's the other way around.
That's what RT showed.
Right.
They showed some of the people, the actual people.
Right.
They said, yes, this is good. We are happy,
Yeah.
We are liberated. But the way they were telling on their news,
Yeah.
oh man, they was murdering everybody, including the baby, and just lying.
Just like the little girl, the Kuwaiti ambassador's daughter, doing, Bush's time was taking babies out of incubators and throwing them on the floor. You know what I mean? And the girl looked like she had never worked a day in her life, but she hadn't. Talking about she was a poor girl. Anyway, regional vision. Now we got it. Why they added Yemen in there is insanity. But the Middle East in a few years, Eastern provinces got to go because they won't leave the people alone. Bahrain got to go because it's 80% to the Shiites. It's got to go. All we got to do, now going to the conference, long story. I told them last year, but I'm going to tell them again. Our brothers are waking up. You see a lot of things that they do. The diplomatic corps. Well, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. They don't have to do nothing. Just say, oh, we just a good guy. See, they're a good guy now. Oh, we did this, oh, we did that. Just wear a slap sound with that. Don't say, we're going to respond to that. And then the other day, alhamdulillah, they came in. No, we're going to discuss this. Like, we're going to stick to our part of the deal. We're going to do fine. You already won. Don't mess it up. Don't mess up your victory. You didn't won. You're the good guy. You stuck to everything, and you got everything. They didn't get nothing. Anyway, you got your independence, and when they come back to mess with you again, like the last week or so, that means that they got everything from the agreement, but they also get the imposition of sanctions which force them to be what? Still independent. See, there's a lot of things you don't like that's good for you. And I have notes on that about personally. I didn't want to like going over to South America, running all around the world, but I loved it. By the time, another thing, I didn't come back to the U.S. until I didn't desire to come back. In other words, I liked it where I was better than being back here. You know, because everybody in exile, oh, they always want to come back. Well, I knew when I knew how I was living, and I liked that better than what I was living here. I said, now you can go and fight your battle, because, you know, you're clean. So Allah hooks you up at the right time for everything. I just want to read another few ayahs. And remember that whatever, and remember that whatever you are given now is but for the passing enjoyment of life in this world, whereas that which is with Allah is far better and more enduring. It shall be given to all who attain to faith and in their sustainer place their trust, and who shun the more heinous sins and abominations. In other words, they're common sins like you and I, but they stay away from khabaya, you know, the big sins. That's what they call it in fiqh, khabaya. And who, whenever they are moved to anger, readily forgive.
That's real serious.
That's big, but it's going to get a little bigger. And who respond to the call of their sustainer and are constant in prayer, and whose rule in all manners of common concern is consultation amongst themselves. Amrahu shura bainahum. They conduct their affairs by mutual consultation. And who spend on others out of what we provide for them as a sustenance. And who, whenever tyranny afflicts them, defends themselves. All this, that. When they're afflicted with tyranny, they defend themselves. They don't join, oh, let me join you, can I join you? You know. This is the key. But remember that an attempt at requiting evil may too become an evil. This is, I've been at this a long time, and it's, all these are watchwords that, okay, we done already whooped they behind. We don't have to, you know, we just